The diner was quiet that rainy afternoon, the kind of calm that made people speak in soft voices and sip their coffee slowly. But that peace shattered in an instant. "Move, old man," a loud voice barked. Heads turned. Near the counter stood an elderly man, thin, gray-haired, wearing a worn military cap with faded patches. He had a cane in one hand and a small to-go bag in the other. His body trembled slightly, not from fear, but from age and pride. The man blocking his way was younger, muscular, leather jacket, tattoos. The type that enjoyed drawing attention. He leaned in, towering over the veteran. "I said move. Don't waste my time." The veteran didn't speak. He slowly lifted his eyes. There was no anger in them. No fear. Just sadness. The kind that comes from seeing more in life than most people ever will. The entire diner went silent. Everyone saw it. No one moved. Until he did. From a corner booth, a man stood up calmly. Tall, composed, maybe in his early 30s. His eyes were steady, his steps measured. He didn't slam the table. He didn't shout. He simply walked forward, firm, quiet, unshaken. And everything changed. Chapter 1. The Man in the Corner. His name was Daniel Hayes. To most people, he was just an ordinary customer, jeans, plain shirt, quiet demeanor. But there was something different about him. He had that calm presence that made people feel safe. Daniel had noticed the veteran as soon as he entered. He noticed the limp, the careful movement, the weary eyes. He also noticed how people looked away from him, as if age made him invisible. Daniel didn't like that, because once, that used to be his father. Chapter 2. A Painful Memory. Years ago, Daniel's father, Sergeant George Hayes, a decorated war hero, returned home after serving the country. But instead of respect, he found indifference, even mockery. People had forgotten the sacrifices behind the uniform. Daniel never forgot the day he saw someone push his father in a grocery store line and call him useless. His father didn't fight back. He just walked away quietly. That day Daniel promised himself one thing. If I ever see someone disrespect a veteran, I will stand up. No matter what. Chapter 3. Present day, the confrontation. Back in the diner, the bully smirked as Daniel approached. "Mind your own business," the man growled. Daniel didn't flinch. He didn't rush. He simply stood next to the veteran and said in a calm, steady voice, "Sir, are you okay? Can I help you?" The veteran's eyes widened in surprise. No one had asked him that in a long time. The bully scoffed. "Oh great. A hero. What are you gonna do?" Daniel didn't look at him. Instead, he turned to the veteran. "Let's get you to a seat. You don't have to deal with this." The entire diner was watching. The bully stepped closer, trying to intimidate Daniel. But Daniel finally looked at him, with eyes as cold and steady as steel. "Back away. No shouting. No aggression. Just calm authority." And for the first time, the bully hesitated. Chapter 4. The Bully's Past. The bully's name was Kyle Benson. He wasn't always this way. Once, he had dreams. A family. Even respect. But anger consumed him when his younger brother enlisted in the army and didn't come home. Kyle blamed the military. He blamed the world. He blamed everyone but himself. And when he saw veterans, he saw pain. Kyle stepped back, just for a second. Daniel noticed the flicker of conflict in his eyes. But Kyle shook it off and shoved Daniel. "Mistake." The diner gasped. Daniel barely moved. Kyle tried again, but Daniel caught his arm, firm but controlled. "This doesn't have to go any further," Daniel said quietly. "You're better than this." Something in Daniel's voice hit Kyle. Unexpectedly. Respect. Understanding. Strength without cruelty. Kyle didn't know how to respond. Chapter 5. Voices Awaken. Suddenly, someone else stood up, a waitress. "Leave him alone," she said, voice trembling but brave. Then a man at a booth stood. Then another. Then an elderly woman. Then the cook. One by one, people who were silent found courage. "Show respect. He's a veteran. Don't treat people like that." Kyle looked around. For the first time, he was the one surrounded. Chapter 6. The Truth About Respect. Daniel helped the veteran to a booth and sat with him. "What's your name, sir?" Daniel asked gently. The veteran took a breath. Arthur Coleman." Daniel extended his hand and shook Arthur's slowly, carefully. "Thank you for your service," he said with genuine warmth. Arthur's eyes watered, just a little. "People don't say that anymore." Daniel smiled softly. "Then they've forgotten who made their freedom possible." Chapter 7. The Breakdown. Kyle stood frozen. The anger in his face faded. Something else replaced it, guilt. I didn't mean," he stammered, unsure. Daniel looked at him, not with hatred, but with compassion. "You lost someone, didn't you?" Kyle went pale. How did you know?" "Because pain recognizes pain." Kyle's defenses crumbled. His voice broke. "My brother, he was 19. He wanted to serve. He never came back." Silence filled the room, not judgment, but empathy. Arthur slowly stood, leaning on his cane, and walked to Kyle. With trembling hands, he placed his aged palm on Kyle's shoulder. "Your brother was a hero," Arthur whispered. Kyle's eyes filled for the first time in years. "I'm sorry," he choked out. "I just didn't know how to deal with it." Arthur nodded. "Neither did I, when I lost my friends." Kyle looked at Arthur. You understand." Arthur smiled sadly. "More than you know." And that was the moment. The bully stopped being the enemy. He became human. Chapter 8. Redemption begins. Kyle turned to the veteran and dropped to his knees. "I was wrong," he said. "I disrespected you. I dishonored my brother. I'm sorry." Arthur lifted Kyle back up gently. "Stand. You don't bow to me. You honor the fallen by living better." Daniel stepped beside them. "Pain can destroy you, or it can change you," he said. "Today, you get to choose." Kyle wiped his eyes. "I want to change." Chapter 9. A New Mission. Over the next weeks, something remarkable happened. Kyle began volunteering at the local Veterans Center. He listened to their stories. He shared his brother's memory. He helped organize charity events. He became someone his brother would be proud of. And every week, Daniel and Arthur met him for coffee at that same diner. They laughed. They shared memories. They healed together. Arthur finally felt seen. Daniel fulfilled his promise. Kyle found peace. Final chapter. The message that echoed. One evening, the diner owner hung a new framed sign on the wall. It read, "In this place, we respect those who served. We stand up for what's right. Not with anger, but with calm courage." People stopped and stared at the sign. Some smiled. Some wiped tears. All understood. Epilogue. The power of one. Daniel once believed he was just an ordinary man. But that day, he proved something powerful. You don't need to shout to be strong. You don't need violence to be brave. Sometimes, calm is the loudest form of courage. One act of quiet strength changed a bully, healed a veteran, inspired a room full of people, and reminded the world, respect is not demanded, it is earned, and protected, by those who dare to stand up calmly. In the end, heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they sit in quiet diner booths, waiting for the moment to do what's right. And when that moment comes, they stand calmly and change everything.